Hello, and welcome to episode 24 of Careers Unplugged, where we uncover the real stories behind professional life. I'm joined by Tush to discuss his summer internship in computational physics. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you very much.
How are you enjoying Lent term so far?
University. It's all the same.
It is what it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
So let's go to our first question. Were the recruiters more interested in what you built in your application or what you studied?
I think I was under the misconception that they would be more interested in what I built, but for summer internships, they really do care about what you study. My best offers were when I actually talked about my modules, and it's just a cherry on top that you've built. Summer internships are for learning, not for showing off, right? They don't need you. They've got PhDs. So.
Like, they want somebody who is going to be willing to learn on the job, you know? Like, they don't want somebody who knows everything there is to know about the world of physics.
Yeah.
Like, if you've got a will to just, smash your internship, then they're going to see that in your body language. So make sure you showcase that authentically as well.
Yeah, definitely.
So how did you actually show curiosity in fusion if you weren't already an expert? Because I don't think you're studying a PhD at the moment.
No, undergraduate masters, 4th year, and I like money. And
Me too.
Yeah, energy has a lot of money, but if you want to go into energy and make money, normally it involves destroying habitats, fossil fuels and whatnot. So fusion's a nice middle ground. Also, the UK is obsessed with fusion. It's one of the few things we're actually still okay at, actually good at. So there's a lot of funding available, lots of summer internships, and not many people applying for them.
Mm-hmm. Was your internship based in Oxford?
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so am I, so.
Oh, fair. I'm from Essex.
Oh,
so
sorry.
Still.
Yeah, what?
I love when you're apologising for me coming from Essex.
Oh, no, it's all right.
That's such a vibe, you know.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't have, the best opinion of Essex, so that's why I moved 200 miles to Lancaster.
Yeah, well, it's all the poshness with none of the economic security, so, gotta feel bad.
Love that. The joys of being a southerner. I should probably give some background on myself as well. So I studied business for my undergrad. So this kind of podcast is a great learning experience for me, just to know more about the science industry as well. So for students like me who have never really heard of nuclear fusion before, how would you explain what your company does in very simple terms?
Yeah, so the company I work at is extremely specific. So fusion, at the end of the day, is just put together two particles, atoms, it doesn't really matter, make some energy. My company specifically is looking at the fact that to do that, it requires a redonkulous amount of energy, which means a lot of money. So we ideally don't really do any testing in real life, or as little as possible. So what we do is we create digital twins, which is you take a fusion reactor, but on a computer, on some sort of server, and then you run the same tests you would ideally do in real life, but digitally. It means that the expenses are extremely low and companies can consult instead of having in-house developments, which is a lot cheaper for them. If they need to test how certain materials are heating, they can come to us. We're also developing a product at the moment, which I can't talk a massive amount about, but It's tied to the same area, so that's really what we do.
Just for scrolling your LinkedIn as well, so you worked on one LAMMPS, am I saying that right?
LAMPS.
LAMPS, yes.
Yeah.
And 2 OpenMC workflows.
Yeah.
Can you just talk through those?
Yeah, so firstly, a workflow is a really corporate way of just saying if you have a lot of tests, and that means you have a lot of code, you want to string it together nicely. Let's say, like I said, we're trying to create a digital twin. So we are building the reactor, and then we are heating the reactor, and we are then analyzing a certain part. There's lots of steps. So a workflow takes all these individual steps and allows you to string them together. It means it's very modular. You can swap out a step with a click of a button. Now, LAMMPS and OpenMC, they are just 2 packages, programming packages, which specialize in different things. LAMMPS is for molecular dynamics, which is a very simple way of saying, imagine you have 2 pool balls and they hit each other. You can predict how they're going to move. That's why people are good at pool, right? You can predict how it's going to spread out. We just do that with particles. That's what LAMMPS is for, which is important in such an energetic environment because stuff is moving. OpenMC is more about neutronics, so how neutrons move, just a specific area of that, and how they're heating up the environment. Energy is heat, heat is energy. That's very important for fusion because we're trying to make energy.
What workflow are you the most proud of, would you say, just from your answer?
Probably the OpenMC one, because it's something I hadn't done much before. I had done molecular dynamics in my time the previous year in Finland. I'd never done OpenMC. It's pretty cool.
Wait, you did a study abroad in Finland?
Yes.
Talk more about that, please.
Oh, sure, yeah. I don't know how I got it, to be honest. Probably lying on my suit. No. But effectively, I was part of a materials science department in Aalto University, which is right next to Helsinki, in a city called Otaniemi. And it was for a very established summer scheme called the ASCII summer internship. It's very popular in science, chemistry, all the areas. So yeah, just went there for 3 months, did that, and that was basically it. And I did molecular dynamics specifically there.
Can you just talk us through, like, what did you learn about it?
What, in Finland?
Yeah, what was, like, your biggest lesson that you got taught?
I would say the biggest lesson is probably tied to all the setup. When you're doing these forms of computation, you can't just do it on an old ThinkPad or an old MacBook. You need computational power. So we're using very, very powerful high-performance computers and trying to connect into those, and then they do the work for you. So there's a lot of juggling of not using too much computational power when other people are, learning how to actually connect and run your scripts through this separate entity, the separate computer to yours. That was the biggest challenge. The rest, honestly, you can chat GPT most of it. But yeah.
What would you say is the biggest, like, cultural difference between Finland and, say, working in the UK?
They work to, like, live, really, and we more live to work, you know. Okay. In Finland, they're having... If you want a coffee break, you go have a coffee break for 45 minutes. You don't want to come into the office, you don't come into the office. People cycle, they don't drive, and if they drive, it's an electric car, not a gas car, you know. It's a slower pace of life, but the research productivity is just as high quality.
So they're more big on, like, a work-life balance?
Yeah, well, they're big on life and work as a side thing. There's no balance, it's just life.
Yeah. That's pretty cool, because I do feel like, because I want to work in finance, and there are some people out there who they almost let their ambition kind of take over their personal life, you know, to the point where work becomes their whole entire personality, and that can get a bit toxic.
For sure.
You know, like, don't work yourself to death, you know?
Yeah.
Because you've got to take care of your body, you know, it's like, you've got to take care of your brain as well. That's where your morale comes from, that's where your energy comes from, you know, like, you have to ask yourself why you're coming into work. So it's important that you take care of yourself as much as, you know, you take care of your team, for example.
Yeah, absolutely.
You helped rebuild your company's Galaxy instance?
Yeah.
It's quite intriguing.
Yeah, so Galaxy is actually a biomedical science tool. But like with most things, it can be applied to all different areas of science. And all it is a workflow manager. So like I was saying, workflows, you string together tools. Galaxy makes it easy to do so. It's literally just that. If you look at it, it's like playing with Scratch. You know, you're just dragging and dropping different scripts and then putting a nice little arrow between them. When it came to our Galaxy instance... Basically, Galaxy is a install-it-yourself software. So they give you the source code, they give you the code, and you can customize it as much as you want. It was built completely fine beforehand, but it was built for security and stability, not for speed. So for me, I was focused on speeding up a bit. That's what I was doing.
Okay, so am I right in saying you had coding experience before coming to this internship?
Yeah, from first year uni, through a friend, I got a job teaching Python and a little bit of C++, just all of that to kids. I don't understand 8-year-olds better at coding than me. It really does kill me. And through that, I was able to get the rest.
I mean, I have heard that, like, the younger you are, the more likely you can pick up a language easier.
Yeah. I think you just have more time, to be honest, and they have all the time in the world.
Yeah, and I think they're just more comfortable with it. They're not scared about messing up or, like, pronouncing a word wrong, you know,
Definitely.
to be a child again.
Honestly.
Okay, was there ever a time where you had to fix a broken system in your internship, or you had to resolve a problem?
Yeah, normally problems I caused. There's loads of examples. One would be it's really important because obviously we're dealing with clients that are Galaxy instance. This effectively our website for showing off what we can do is secure. You know, you can log in, you can log out, XYZ. There is a level of security which is required. And one problem which came up recently is I had built it's very simple. I had done what was needed to increase that security. So, you know, when you go on a website, it shows HTTPS. That effectively means it's secure. Our instance lost that security for some time, so I had to fix that. It's important you do so. It wasn't that difficult to do so, but that was probably the most recent instance.
So you also achieved an 85% reduction in build time. Is that correct?
Yeah. It honestly sounds better than it is. Once again, basically, we have our code on GitHub, which is just a repository for all the code.
Yeah,
the
I'm familiar with it.
Yeah, of course. So to actually add these workflows, these tools to our Galaxy, you run some scripts, and then it does the upload. Problem is that takes time, so I was just trying to find ways to reduce that time, because if you, for one client, you may be uploading your tools 20, 30, 100 times. Each time was taking, 5 minutes, sometimes 10 minutes. Reducing that down to 20 seconds makes all the world of difference.
So how much client-facing time did you have on your internship?
Bugger all.
Oh.
No, yeah, they're not going to put an intern in front of clients. It's just I was working on things which could be shown to clients later on.
Okay, it's like example work.
Definitely. It was work which is shown to clients. It was client-facing work, but I wasn't doing the talking.
Okay, because I also stalked you on LinkedIn as well.
Okay. Yeah.
And you've got a grad scheme at... I should mention, your company is nTtau Digital?
nTtau. Yeah.
nTtau, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't... at the moment, it's not a grad scheme, hopefully.
Okay.
It's a rolling internship. So it just means that my work was somewhat adequate over the summer. So they kept me on where if they need a project done, they could give me 10 hours of work in a week, maybe 15, maybe 2. So it's just like that. Very non-concrete hours, but I just do some work for them. Hopefully that work is picking up at the moment. The aim is that I do well enough and that they have the funding to bring me on full time.
So am I correct in saying this is a startup?
It is, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Would you prefer to work for a more established company?
Well, pros and cons. I think at the start of your career, it's less enticing to work at an established company. There's a lot of red tape. If you want to get a promotion, you have to work X amount of time. At a startup, if you get a promotion if they need someone in that role, and often they need it quick, especially if you're scaling up. There's a lot more of a chance to get into more projects. So I prefer the startup vibe. It's also remote, so I can, actually enjoy my life a little bit more.
Do you miss being part of the office?
Over the summer, it was nice. There was a co-working space. There was free cereal. That was good.
Beautiful stuff.
Yeah, honestly, once we... Don't tell anyone, this isn't going live, obviously. But we, slept in the office. It was a good time, but outside of that, having a bit of fun over the summer, the office is just a lot of faff and a lot of money to get there. I don't know. It's not for me.
Yeah, what was just the drawbacks of working in computer physics? Computational, sorry.
I think the main drawback is that there's a lot of people who can do the job. Software engineers are struggling at the moment. If they really wanted to, as much as I don't want them to, they could take my job in a heartbeat, right? They'd be better than me, most likely. Their entire degree is for software development. Computational physics is just software development, but you have to read a couple physics papers. If you have the mind to get through a software engineering degree, you can do that. So there's a lot less job security compared to an in-lab testing things with your hands job. So pros and cons.
And what would you say is the most shocking moment in your internship? Something you just did not expect?
Honestly, I think the most shocking thing was actually doing an okay job. You know, it was 8 weeks, and I was able to create things which could be generating revenue in the future, or at least enticing clients into wanting to use our services in some way. It's amazing how quickly you can do stuff with, frankly, with AI combined with a startup culture. It's really nice. That was the most shocking thing.
Did you ever experience imposter syndrome?
No, not really. Everyone's doing the same things. You know, everyone is using Stack Overflow, AI, XYZ. I'm not too stressed. I don't think anyone should really feel imposter syndrome to some extent, because you are where you are. Recruiters aren't that dumb. You know, they can see through people in an interview to some extent. And if you've got the job, you've got the job, and that's it. And if they want to fire you, they can fire you. That's their choice.
I often say fake it till you make it to an extent. If people are literally sussing you out and you can see, like, okay, you know what, I'm not made for this, then maybe that job isn't for you.
Yeah.
Sometimes you do have to have a heart-to-heart with yourself and be like, do you know what, can I still be at the job in the next 10 years? I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely.
But now we've got to the point in the interview where we're going to have a quick fire round.
All right, fun.
Okay, so what's one skill that you didn't really anticipate to using?
CAD. So any engineers they just shriveled up at hearing that. Physicists learn CAD. Everyone in science, in engineering, just learn CAD in some way. Every single job tied to engineering or physics is very likely going to mention it, especially materials science. CAD is just a way of building these digital structures, right? You need to know it if you want to test anything. If you want to test a material, a bridge's stability, architecture. It looks great on a CV. CAD.
So was it necessary to use before jumping into the placement? Like, was it on the job description?
Not specifically, no. But it ended up being used, so that's what I mean. Even when they don't mention it,
it's just convenient.
Yeah, it'll sneak up on you.
What does CAD stand for?
Oh god, you know what?
Because I've never heard of it before.
Yeah, honestly, I couldn't even tell you what it stands for. It's probably automated development, something, blah blah blah. But yeah, it's just for designing structures on a computer.
And that's all you need to know.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, what's one thing you wish you would have known before starting?
God, no. Oh, that is a good question. I think what I would have liked to know is that it's okay to just chill out a little bit. You know, it took a little while for me to get accustomed to just making jokes, blah blah blah, like having a good time. But if you go in and you are cheerful and chill with the management, with everyone, especially at a startup, they're gonna like you more. They're gonna want you around more. I really think professionalism is overrated in science. There's a reason scientists go to work in Hawaiian shirts. Finance, it may be different because there's so much hazing culture. It is how it is, but especially in science, I think just chill out, speak earnestly and honestly in the interview. Don't wear a full suit all the time, and you're going to be good.
Yeah, like, dress to impress, but like also your sociability in the workplace is much more important than kind of what you bring to the table.
Yeah, just do the work, and if you get the work done, they really don't care outside of that, right?
And also go to more socials than you'd like to.
Yeah. But only if you want to. Like, at the end of the day, if you that's what I mean. If you are earnest and you're chill, you're going to find chill people. You can hang out with them, and then you're not, like, pulling teeth when you're at a social, right? So, yeah.
Yeah. And it's also just about putting your best face on.
Yeah.
And even if you're an introvert, I think just go for it. It's good to make boundaries.
Yeah.
It's only, like, if you want to apply for a summer internship, it's only 8 weeks, 8 to 10 weeks.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you do great. All right, what's the biggest myth about working in science or engineering?
I would say that people think that the people who work in the industry are, like, smarter than they are. No one is, like, everyone is... Look, a builder at the age of 40 has spent 40 years getting to the point of being that person, of being that builder who is skilled and learned skills. What is really the difference between that and someone in finance who at the age of 40 has built up skills and someone in science? There's no difference. They're all just careers and jobs, and everyone is just, like, kind of winging it, because for everyone's knowledge you could have for yourself, you just need to know the route to get to it. That means no one is really smarter than you, right? You're always just, like, 2 steps away from being as smart as them. So it's just, like, once again, chill out. No one's that smart.
Don't beat yourself up. Like, if you get something wrong, you know, you're not going to get fired.
Yeah.
You know, you're not going to get punished. It's really 8 weeks where you can make the most out of your internship.
Yeah.
So just go out with a bang.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely. Drink. If you're into that.
Yeah. It's also okay to drink J2Os.
Yeah,
Also in the
exactly.
social as well.
Yeah,
That's also valid.
Yeah.
And lastly, what is the most exciting aspect about nuclear fusion that you're looking forward to into the future?
Well, commercialization, hopefully. Everyone always makes the joke that it's 50 years away. Or maybe if you're not a nerd, you don't make that joke, actually, but still. But it's close. I feel it. Look, big corporations don't throw their money into industries which have no value. Microsoft is putting billions, Google's putting billions. Those billions didn't exist 5 years ago. Something's ramping up. And if it all goes to nothing, well, there's still billions around. So make your money and get out. But I'm excited because, like, stuff's happening. It's very rare that the government collaborates so closely with private companies and gives them money to do their thing. In the UK, we're very lucky. We have the flexibility of private enterprise, and we have government stability and funding, the UK AEA, and it's all around the same area. Oxfordshire's great. It's all around there. So, honestly, it's just an exciting time for this specific industry, at least.
Well, Tush, thank you so much for coming to the podcast today. I should mention as well to our members, we've had a little bit of a rescheduling issue today. So thank you for coming in so early notice.
No problem. As a final note, if anyone is that interested in Fusion, Lancaster, 12th of February, the UKAA is coming up to talk about grad schemes and summer internships. So be there or be square. Don't tell anyone, but basically everyone who applied to the Foster internship got one last year, so give it a shot.
There's your shout, guys. If you want a chance, definitely make sure you come to that event. Will it be published on the Careers Advancement Network's Instagram?
I can send it over to you. Maybe not. I'll send the information over to you, and then it will be on there, so go follow that.
Okay, our president will be on it.
Yeah.
So yeah, just a massive shout about that. Yeah, can I just say it's been an absolute joy talking to you about your career journey. I wish you all the best in the future.
Thank you,
as
you
well.
too.
And yeah, to our audience, please stay tuned for more episodes where we provide valuable insights into the wonderful world of work, guiding you through internships and graduate schemes. Okay, have a good week, everybody. See you later.